Today on the show, we wrap up our look at classic cars by chatting with Ray Safro, and we talk about transforming a stock STI into a rally machine. Welcome to the Auto123 show. I'm Donna Mei-ling Park, and my journey to explore the automotive industry never stops rolling, no matter how cold it gets outside. Let's first pull into the pit stop to find that glove that you lost, and seeing as it's the last show of the year, let's fuel you up on the most interesting automotive stories of 2009. In a financial sense, the past year has been a record one, but not for good reasons. We can't talk about the biggest automotive stories of the year without mentioning that two major automakers, GM and Chrysler, filed for bankruptcy and had to resort to government loans to save their business. At General Motors, the turmoil led to a complete restructuring that forced hundreds of dealers to close and even killed two brands, Saturn and Pontiac. Meanwhile, Hummer and Saab are still in limbo as GM is trying to sell them off. Chrysler also filed for bankruptcy, but things are starting to pick up following the company's takeover by Italian auto group Fiat. The future looks brighter, with Fiat models being sold in North America under the Chrysler badge. Changes in the automotive landscape made numerous headlines this year. In 2008, Toyota surpassed General Motors as the biggest automobile manufacturer in the world. And what's new with the Korean manufacturers? They've increased their market share big time in 2009, thanks to their small car offensive and aggressive pricing. Experts predict that within a few years, the Hyundai-Kia group will rise among the top 3 manufacturers in the world. While the Big Three is now being referred to as the Detroit Three because they no longer dominate the U.S. automotive market, Ford is shining a bright beacon of hope. In the early 60s, together, GM, Ford, and Chrysler controlled almost 95% of the market. Today, it stands at around 40%. However, after revitalizing their lineup by dumping brands like Aston Martin, Jaguar, and Land Rover, along with plant closures and major workforce cuts earlier this decade, things are looking much brighter for Ford. In November, the Blue Oval announced its first operating profits in North America since 2005. On the Formula One scene, it was one for the books. Team Braun Grand Prix made history in 2009 by becoming the first new team to clinch the World Championship in its maiden season in Formula One. Congratulations! Other major racing news included that neither BMW nor Toyota will be competing in the Grand Prix next year. Both car manufacturers decided to pull out following a disappointing season. Surely the slow global economy was a factor, but hopefully they'll be back in the future. If you ask me, the biggest story of the year was brought to you by the color green. Diesel is back. If you were born any time after the late 70s, like me, consider it a good thing since you won't recall the gutless, noisy, and wretched-smelling diesel cars of the past, and hopefully be open to the idea of clean, efficient, quiet, and powerful new diesels. The near future also belongs to the battery. Well, electricity to be more precise. Plug-in hybrids and pure electric vehicles that promise to keep you away from gas stations are now a reality. The latest EVs have the potential to take you to work and back under a single charge.